In this video, we are going to see how generative AI can be used for AP exams by the students to make their learning simpler and understandable. In this demo, we will be using Intelligent Document plugin by Gnosis Learning on a calculus textbook PDF used for AP Calculus BC. By making use of generative AI features into our existing AP books, we want to help students go straight to Calculus 3 in college, which allows them to graduate earlier, and this opens up the door to education beyond the bachelor's degree. Let us ask some questions from differentiation. What is the slope of a line between 2 points?
The slope of a line between 2 points is calculated as the change in y values divided by the change in x values. In symbols, it is represented as yx.
As you can see, while answering, it also takes you to that particular page number. Using the authoring tool, we can also link specific videos to the page. Similarly, we can also get the videos from YouTube based on the content of the page. We can have videos like that of Khan Academy linked to the pages of the book.
2 and -3, 16. So just as a reminder, slope is defined as rise over run, or you could view that rise is just change in y, and run is just change in x. The triangles here, that's the delta symbol, it literally means change in. Or another way, and you might see this formula, and it tends to be really complicated.
Let's try some more questions. How is the derivative of a constant function 0?
The derivative of a constant function is 0 because the rate of change of a constant function is always 0. This means that regardless of the values of x and c, the derivative of a constant function will always be 0.
Now let's check out the videos as well with respect to this topic.
Will seem like common sense, or maybe it will once we talk about it. So if f of x, if our function is equal to a constant value, well then f prime of x is going to be equal to 0. Now why does that make intuitive sense? Well, we could graph it. So that's my y-axis, that's my x-axis. If I wanted to graph y equals f of x, it's going to look like that, where this is at the value y is equal.
What is the derivative of 10x?
The derivative of tan x is sec squared x.
Okay, so you can also generate the MCQs based on the context of the page. Okay, so if the answer is correct, it will be indicated in green color. And if the answer is wrong, it will be indicated in red color. Okay, so as you can see, I've answered 5 questions correctly out of 10. Now let's see the explanation for this question via video.
Let's figure out what the derivative with respect to x. Let's first do tangent of x. Tangent of x. Well, this is the same thing as trying to find the derivative with respect to x of, the tangent of x is just sine of x. Sine of x over cosine of x, and since it can be expressed as the quotient of two functions, we can apply the quotient rule here to evaluate this, or to figure out what this is going to be. The quotient rule tells us that this is going to be the derivative of the top function, which we know is.
Now let us try some more questions from integration. What are the various methods of partial fraction?
The various methods of partial fractions include 1. Using long division to ensure the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. 2. Factoring the denominator as far as possible into linear factors and irreducible quadratic factors. 3. Writing down the correct form for the partial fraction decomposition and solving for the constants. 4. Cross-multiplying the fractions to find the constants a and b. 5. Simplifying the integrand by finding constants a and b so that the fraction can be expressed as a sum of simpler fractions. 6. Integrating the simpler fractions to solve the original integral.
Okay, so we will also check out the video linked to this question.
To break up this rational expression into the sum of two rational expressions. And a good hint there is the fact that this denominator here is factorable into these two expressions. So what we're going to try to do with partial fraction decomposition is say, can we express x minus 5 over 2x minus 3 times x minus 1? Can we express it as the sum of two rational expressions, where the denominator of the first rational expression is 2x minus 3, and the denominator of the second rational expression is x minus 1.
Okay, let's ask some more questions. Explain the proof of the substitution rule.
The proof of the substitution rule involves defining a function g, x, as f, u, x, where f is an antiderivative of f. By using the chain rule, we can show that g, x, equals f, u, x, u, x. Integrating both sides with respect to x and applying the fundamental theorem of calculus, we get the integral of f, u, x, u, x, dx from a to b is equal to g, b, g, which is equal to f, u, b, f, u, which is equal to the integral of f, u, do from c to d. This shows that the substitution rule holds for definite integrals.
Let's say that we have the indefinite integral, and the function is 3x squared plus 2x.
So in the case where the videos are not linked to the pages, it will automatically get the YouTube videos based on the content of the page. Okay, so for this particular page, like I have not linked any videos, so all the videos those are fetched from YouTube are based on the content of this page.
Times e to the x to the third plus x squared dx. So how would we go about solving this? So first, when you look at it, it seems like a really complicated integral. We have this polynomial right over here.
Explain the integration of sec x dx.
To integrate sec x dx, you can use the trick of multiplying and dividing by the same thing. This allows you to rewrite sec x dx as sec x dx by using the identity sec x tan x equals sec x plus tan x. You can rewrite sec x dx as sec squared x dx. Then you can make the substitution u equals sec x plus tan x, so that do equals sec x tan x plus sec squared x dx. This simplifies the integral to 1/2, which integrates to ln u plus c. Substituting back in, you get the final result as ln sec x plus tan x plus c.
So you can also use the authoring tool to link the specific slides to this particular page. Okay, so I can add a slide deck and I can also point it to a particular slide number. Okay, so let's try some MCQs now based on this page. Okay, so as you can see, I've answered 3 correctly out of 5. Our main objective is to have all these generative AI features into our AP exams Android apps which are available on the Play Store. Thank you very much for watching this video.